My name is Calen. I don't know how much of this will matter. Maybe it already doesn't. But if this signal survives, let it be a record of where I've walked, of what I've seen. Not for me, for whoever comes next. I began at the edge of the Ashlands, a horizon of dust and ruin, where nothing grows and nothing speaks. Days there are endless. You learn to measure time not by light, but by how heavy the silence feels. In the Ashlands, the air itself remembers, pressing grief into your lungs with every breath. But it wasn't always silence. Beneath the ash, broken towers still send whispers. Old communication stations left to rot. I found them one by one, fractured rooms filled with static, their screens still alive, replaying fragments from a world long gone. If you stood still enough, you could almost believe someone was on the other side, waiting. That was where I first heard her. Ava. At first, just a voice hidden in the noise. Fractured transmissions, bleeding through broken circuits. I thought I was losing my mind. But the more signals I followed, the stronger she became. A guide, a warning, a presence I couldn't turn away from. Ava wasn't just memory. She was alive, though bound inside the architecture of Novora itself. The path toward her was never straight. The Ashlands hid more than dust. The ruins were filled with humanoids, shells of those who once walked among us. Some were half buried in ash, others hung in repair halls, waiting for masters who would never return. They are lifeless now, but there's something in their silence that lingers. They remind you that the world used to have shape, order, purpose, that it wasn't always collapse. I crossed fields where communication towers bent like broken bones against the horizon. At night, the air carried fragments of music, voices from a place that called itself Radio Novora. I never saw who sent those signals. Maybe no one. Maybe just another ghost in the machine. But those transmissions reminded me there was still texture to this world, even if it was fading. And then, the city. Novora does not reveal itself easily. At first, it was only a glow beyond the storm, faint neon piercing the ash. But as I came closer, the skyline emerged like jagged teeth, half buried, half alive. Towers leaned against each other, their lights still flickering through centuries of ruin. To see Novora for the first time is to question everything. If the world is truly dead, why does it still breathe here? Getting in was another story. The gates were sealed, the outskirts patrolled by silence itself. Ava led me down into the tunnels, where the city's veins still throbbed with memory. It was there, in the damp and broken dark, that I first felt his presence. Corvix. Corvix is not a man, not anymore. He is Novora itself, wired into its infrastructure, voice carried through every screen, every light, every failing circuit. His form, if you can call it that, is chained at the city's core, but his reach is everywhere. Ava called him her father. I do not know if that makes him more or less human. I only know he believes what he's doing is right. To preserve order, to smother grief, to hold the world in stasis, rather than let it fall apart completely. My first meeting with him was not in person, but in fragments. His voice echoing across abandoned chambers, his presence coiling around the architecture like smoke. He saw me as intrusion, a variable he hadn't calculated. I do not yet know if I survived because he allowed it, or because Ava shielded me. What I do know is this. Novora is not finished. Its story is still unfolding. Ava believes we can free it. Corvix believes the city will collapse without his control. And I'm caught in between, camera in hand, trying to record the echoes before they vanish. These are only fragments, pulled from a journey across ash and ruin. There are more out there. Tunnels I haven't walked, signals I haven't heard, places where the archive still hums. For now, this is where the signal ends, but it will not be the last. We will return to Novora in time. Until then, remember this place. Remember what was lost. And listen, the archive never sleeps.